Hey, we are live. It's Helen here from helenmartinonline.com, and I have a very special guest with me today, Tyson Zahner. How are you today?
Great, Helen. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for joining me today. For those of you that are on live or, comment in, tell us where you're coming from, say hello. Those of you that are catching the replay, just put the word replay down below so I can connect with you afterwards. Now, why I wanted to invite Tyson onto a live today is basically just to pick your brain, Tyson. You have a very interesting story in relation to your history with network marketing and shifting that online and building your business online. I first connected with Tyson through one of his webinars, and I consider him a mentor of mine. You've taught me a lot, Tyson, so thank you very much for your knowledge and wisdom that you pass on in your training. And I am a member of Tyson's Inner Circle, actually, to get ongoing training from Tyson on a monthly basis because he has lots of value and knowledge to bring. So welcome, Rob. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, Angela. Lovely to have you here with us. Please say hello to Tyson. So Tyson, you've got a very interesting story when it comes to network marketing in your history. I believe you were in network marketing for a very long time and not very successfully until you were able to turn it around. And when you did, you turned it around really quickly. So I was just wondering if you could share with us sort of your journey in network marketing and what turned it around for you, and how were you able to recruit basically 1,000 people in under a year once you sort of found a different strategy to use?
Sure. Yeah. So like Helen said, I struggled inside of the home business arena, primarily network marketing companies, in and out of about 3 different companies over, it was a 15-year period. It was so long, I just don't remember. And, I was in a company for, a few months and couldn't make anything work and couldn't make it fit with, the whole, talk to your friends and family approach that the upline trainers told me to do. It just, I don't know, it didn't jive with my personality and couldn't make it work. And so I would leave. And then, a couple years later, I'd come back and I'd be drawn back to it again because I've always been entrepreneurial. I've had other businesses, but I was always drawn to network marketing because I liked the low risk in terms of the low cost of entry. I can't think of any other business where you can start at such a low cost to get in. And I love the idea of the leverage, building a team, teaching other people to duplicate. But I couldn't even get a team, to duplicate anything with, much less, get leverage by teaching them. And so, long story short, I was in and out, like I said, for about 15 to 18 years in 3 different companies. And this was, before the internet. And then as the internet kind of came along, I never really tried the internet until, I guess it was about my 3rd company. I thought everything was going to be different because I was older and I built other successful businesses outside of network marketing. And no go. I failed again in the 3rd company. So I was like, all right, something's got to give. Either I'm not going to do direct sales network marketing anymore, or I'm going to find another method if such a method exists. And so I went online one night, just kind of searching for, I don't even remember what it was, alternate ways to build a network marketing business or building a network marketing business online, that kind of thing. And I was very skeptical of everything that I saw, but I ended up basically going in, and I think it was the first thing that I ended up downloading was I bought a book for, I don't know, it was $50, and then there was a 7-day series of emails that I got over a course of time that kind of introduced me to this concept of attraction marketing, of attracting people to me instead of me chasing people around. And so if I had to say, what's the one thing that really changed everything for me, it would be, the simple answer would be attraction marketing. It was that I learned how to attract people to me as opposed to me chasing people around. But more specifically, because there's a lot of people out there trying to say, hey, you should learn to attract people to you. And that attraction marketing has become kind of a buzzword that it falls on a lot of deaf ears today because so many people have heard of it. Oh, I think I know what that is. And oh, you just run an ad, you put an ad out there and that's supposed to attract people to you. Well, I've done Facebook ads and it doesn't work or whatever, right? And so for me, the big shift, because I tried attraction marketing for a solid, I don't know, 3 to 4 months. I mean, Helen made it sound like I was like this instant success when I came online, and there was a period of struggle there. It just wasn't 18 years of struggle. It was about 3 to 4 months of me like going out and posting stuff in groups on Facebook and trying to run solo ads to other people's email lists and just all kinds of things that I thought would attract people to me, and it didn't work. I was like, I felt like I was just back at square one and I was losing money. And it wasn't until I discovered this idea of value-based attraction marketing. And that was really kind of the shift that I did. As opposed to me just running an ad like everybody else was trying to do, it was, how about instead of me just putting my link out on Facebook, I put some value out on Facebook? Kind of like what Helen's doing now, where she's interviewing, this is value. Hopefully this is valuable to some people out there, which, by the way, to give Helen's page some love, why don't you guys give some thumbs up and some hearts to this video if you are finding value from this. But, once I discovered how to start providing value and using a value-based attraction marketing strategy as opposed to just what I call the spray and pray attraction marketing method, which is let me just spray my link out there and pray, oh God, let somebody please come and sign up with my business. That just didn't work for me. And I just got, after that, I mean, really, I guess the rest is history. I went on, as Helen said, to enroll over 1,000 people into a network marketing opportunity within about a 12-month period. I then went on to become the #1 income earner for 3 straight years in a row in a very popular affiliate marketing program. And then now I have my own coaching and training company that I've built, from my own brand. So, and really every single bit of it has been based on attraction marketing. And I'll just say one last thing. I was able to take all of those elements that worked in, for attraction marketing for affiliate products or for network marketing products, or I was able to use that even in, like I said, I've built other brick and mortar businesses prior to the network marketing thing. And I was able to implement all of those strategies back into like my brick and mortar photography business. And it's helped in that business as well. So it really is a universal strategy that I think almost every business owner can and should be using.
There's 2 critical things that you said that I'd like to highlight there, Tyson. One is, when I speak to a lot of people about building online, they have a very different perception of what that is versus what attraction marketing is. So when people build their business online, they think they go in Facebook or they go in Facebook groups and they just send their link out to everybody, or just have pictures of their products or pictures of their network marketing, basically company, plastered on their sort of personal Facebook page, which is not really the intention of building your business online, nor attraction marketing. So what is the difference to you with that? Like, some people think, yeah, I'm building my business online, I'm posting on social media, I'm putting pictures up, and I'm putting my link out in groups. So to some people, that's what building a business online is. So what really is the difference with attraction marketing, effective attraction marketing?
So there's a couple of things that I'll say about that. Number one is that you have to understand the difference between marketing and selling. And what most people think they're doing when they post on social media is they think they're marketing. And what most people think is, to market my product, I have to talk about my product. Not true at all. Marketing is about putting out the kind of information that would attract the kind of person who would want your product, but that doesn't mean you necessarily have to talk specifically about your product. Now, I know that may seem real ethereal for some people, like, what in the world did he just say? So I'll give you some examples here in just a moment. But for me, marketing is more about, first of all, let me just clarify the easiest, best definition I ever heard that I've implemented in my business to clarify the difference between marketing and selling is this. if you ever have a question, am I really marketing my product or am I selling? Because we all know people hate to be sold to.
Yes.
They love to buy when they're marketed to the right way, but they hate to be sold to. So how do I know if I'm selling or if I'm marketing? Here's the answer. If you're talking about your thing, what you're interested in, you're selling. If you're talking about how great your grass seed is, right? Well, we sell the greatest grass seed in the world, and we've been in business for 50 years. You're talking about you. You're selling people on you and your seed, your grass seed, right? If you're talking about your network marketing compensation plan and how it pays out 15 different ways, you're selling. You're talking about your thing and why it's so great. Marketing is when you're talking about your prospect, about his needs, her desires, her problems, her fears, her goals, the things that she's genuinely interested in. So here's a perfect example. If you said, well, I really want to sell my grass seed on Facebook, the way I would do that with an attraction marketing approach would be not, hey, we have the best grass seed in the world, and it's made from ingredients only found in the highest mountains of the Himalayas, right? I wouldn't do that. Instead, I would say, hey, would you like to know 3 tips to get the greenest lawn on your neighborhood, so that in your neighborhood, to make all of your neighbors envious, right? That's what your prospect is interested in. Would you like to know how to get rid of that pesky crabgrass that you hate growing in your garden? Or, right, I would want to attract the kind of person who's interested in having a good-looking lawn, but that doesn't mean I have to talk about my grass seed up front. Does that make sense? So that, to me, is the real difference between marketing and selling your product, or doing a marketing/selling approach, which isn't, to me, marketing at all.
Yeah, so rather than the details and what it actually is, you're concentrating on the benefits of what the other person is going to gain from it. Is that right?
Yeah, either the benefits, what it does, what benefits the person is going to gain, or even just kind of generally what that person would be interested in. If I were a real estate agent trying to attract people to, if I wanted them to hire me to list their home so that I earn the commission when they sold the home, I wouldn't have to necessarily lead by saying, I'm the greatest real estate agent in the world, and I work for RE/MAX, and RE/MAX has been in business for 50 years, and here's why we're such a reputable company. Nobody cares about that stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Instead, I might say, hey, if you're in the market to sell your home, let me give you 5 tips to give your home instant curb appeal for less than $100. This will help you to sell your home really quickly. That would attract the kind of person who wants to sell their home, who needs a realtor, without you having to talk about why you're the most amazing realtor. So you're talking about the end result, or the end benefit, or the end goal, or the solution to a problem that your prospect wants solved, as opposed to you talking all about you and your thing. That's the big difference.
Yeah, and I think that what that leads to is the other person comes to the conclusion that they need what you have, rather than that selling where you're trying to push it, on somebody. Thank you, Kathy, for joining us. Thank you, Anita. Please, are you finding this valuable? Please send Tyson some likes and loves. I'm definitely finding the information valuable. Thank you, Tyson. There was something else you mentioned that I wanted to tap into as well, is you mentioned you built a brand. So how important is the branding piece in attraction marketing, and really promoting more yourself and self-branding rather than the products and the company that you are providing?
Well, so especially when it comes to network marketing, I assume a large part of your audience is network marketers.
Correct, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to network marketing especially, what I discovered, whenever I really looked at all of the top earners who were doing really, really well, yes, they were using the team tools, right? They were using, they would send somebody to a company video, which is great. But before they ever sent somebody to the company video, they sold that person on them as an individual, and on the team, and on the team's systems, before they ever sent them to the video. And so one of the things that I really kind of came to realize was, number one, people don't join companies, they join people. Mm-hmm. And then number two, I discovered that amateurs are all out there promoting their thing directly, right? Join my amazing company, we pay out 15 different ways, and you're going to become a millionaire next week. And people are like, yeah, right, forget it. top earners are promoting themselves first as someone to say, look, if you like me and you like the value that I provide and you want someone who can be the link to your success, or you want to join a team that can be the link to your success, that's what we can be for you. And so what they do is they promote themselves or their team first, and then they promote the company on the back end second. That was a big shift in my mind. And once I realized that, I started, number one, I didn't have any credibility when I first started out to build a brand that said, hey, look, when I first started, I couldn't say, hey, I've recruited 1,000 people in a year, because I didn't have that story. So I had to build my credibility in other ways, outside of, hey, here's my great results. And so, there's a lot of ways to do that. I know there's a lot of people going, well, tell us what they are, Tyson. So I'll just give you a couple of them, because I know that begs that question.
Yeah.
One of the best ways is affinity. It is, I know where you're at because I've been there too, right? And so, let me just kind of give you a good example. You don't necessarily have to have reached the promised land, but if you to persuade someone to join you on your journey to the promised land, but if you're a little further ahead of them on that journey to the promised land than they are, they will often trust you and see you as credible. And I'll give you a good example. So I'm overweight right now, and I'm working on a new fitness plan, a new diet plan, right? And so I was going out on YouTube a couple of weeks ago and looking at some new diet plans and so forth. And I ended up buying this program from a guy who is number one, he's super fit and got abs, washboard abs. You can wash your clothes on his abs. And to me, yes, I'm very inspired by him and his physique. I see it as something, I'd love to aspire to that. But where I'm at right now in my physique, I don't necessarily see that as something that is attainable. So his results almost make it to me God, I don't know if could I really do that? He's been in fitness all his life. And I make up all of these excuses why it'll work for him and why it won't work for me. And what I found was when I went to YouTube and I just started, he talks about a specific kind of diet that he recommends to his clients and that he uses. So when I went out on YouTube and I started looking up other people who are using that exact same kind of diet, I typed in the name of the diet and looking up results, and I found people who, I found an older guy who was in his 50s who was really only about 4 months along in his journey. He still had, pretty pudgy stomach, but he was way, way more in shape than he was 4 months prior.
Right.
Number one, he had credibility in my mind because he had been where I was, right? So there was this level of affinity. I can relate to him. He's a bit more closer to where I'm at. And number two, he had gotten at least a small result. So don't feel, guys, like you have to go out and get the top result. Oh, I got to become number one income earner in my company before anybody will ever listen to me. No, sometimes those top earners who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or even millions of dollars a year, that seems so far-fetched to the common mind that if you're just look, hey, if you go and you tell a story that sounds like this, listen, I was frustrated with my job. I hated, having a boss telling me what to do. I hated, making someone else rich. I hated the fact that I couldn't spend time with my kids. In the evening, I didn't get home to see my kids as much as I wanted, and so on and so forth. Number one, that relates. It tells why you joined in the first place. So that affinity is going to give some level of credibility. And even if you've only made, hey, I'm not making a lot, but I'm making an extra $100 a month, and that's helping me to pay off a portion of my car payment or whatever. To a lot of people, that is more realistic to them and more attainable than the top earner who can say, well, I'm making millions of dollars a year. And they're like, oh, well, he must have magical powers. That's why it works for him and it won't work for me. So I use that weight loss analogy to say there are a lot of other ways that you can add credibility. Affinity is one of them. And then my favorite, it comes right back to attraction marketing. It's just prove to someone that you can help them by actually helping them. Provide real value and demonstrate your value. demonstrate how helpful you can be by just giving them something that is genuinely helpful, and they go, holy cow, like this really did increase the value of my home for less than $100. This lady really does know what she's talking about when it comes to real estate. I bet she could really help me sell my home faster than this schmo that I've got over here working on it. I'm going to hire her instead. So I hope that those analogies kind of make sense.
Yeah, no, it does, and it really highlights something I feel strongly about is about bringing value. And I talk to a lot of people who get really caught up with the fact that they're not successful themselves. So, but they want to build a business online, but they feel, well, I don't have any success. So what credibility and authority do I have to start a Facebook page and brand myself and, you know, teach people other things? And, you know, something I constantly say is as long as you can bring value to other people, you can help other people, and you genuinely sort of care, then that's really all that matters. And you only need to be a couple of steps ahead of the person that you're helping. So as long as you're willing to provide value, and if you can just learn things and teach it to others, that can be valuable. You don't have to have all the answers, but if you can learn something that's valuable and you can think that can help others or your audience or your tribe or whatever, then that's more important than somebody who's a multiple millionaire that's worlds apart from you and doesn't even understand your frustrations.
Yeah. One of the biggest things we get caught up in as just human beings and just the human psyche in general is we get caught up in this comparitis, I call it. You know, I've got a bad case of comparitis where I want to compare myself to everyone else out there. And I go, well, why would anybody listen to me when they could listen to so-and-so? So-and-so has so much better results than me. And so what you have to understand is, number one, not every person resonates with every other person out there. I know there are some people on here who are like, I don't like that Tyson guy. I don't like his style. And that's okay. I know I'm not for everybody. And there are other people who will love Helen's style and not like my style. And that's totally okay. But vice versa, I know there's some people who might not like the top earner style, but like my style. I've actually had some people come to me who, I won't say any names, but you know, every once in a while it gets nice to say, oh, I followed so-and-so who's this real big name trainer in the network marketing space. I just really couldn't relate. I love your style. And that person's had way more results, way more success than I've had, but they just resonated with me and my personality. So it does all start with providing value, like Helen said, absolutely.
And I think the key there, Tyson, is you're accentuating the purpose of branding, because people connect with people. People buy off people. People go into business with people, not you know, a physical company or something like that. So the self-branding piece is where, you know, people make that connection first. So, you know, that's why branding is so important. So if somebody was to start from the very beginning, Tyson, like they're in network marketing now, they're building their business the traditional way, they've exhausted their warm market, they know they want to build online, they're really not sure how to do it the right way, where would you recommend they start their journey?
So, number one, to build any business, every business, even if you're going to have a job, even if you don't want to build a home business, everything that you want to do in your life to make some level of money is going to require you to acquire a certain set of skills, right? If you want to work at McDonald's, may not be the hardest skills to acquire, but you're going to have to spend a little time in training to learn a few skills to work at McDonald's. Same thing is true if you want to become a doctor. Totally different set of skills. You're going to have to spend a lot of time going to school, spending a lot of money, acquiring skills. Well, the same thing is true in your home business. And the number one most valuable skill that you can acquire is to learn how to market. At least that's what I believe. If you want to be a good, I know lots of, like, I'm a photographer as well. I have a successful brick and mortar photography studio. I know people who are way more talented photographers than I am. They have a better eye, but my business thrives because, yeah, I have a good product, but I really know how to market. I know how to attract my right prospect. So to me, the number one thing that a business owner should focus on is becoming a good marketer, unless you have the money and the resources to hire a big marketing team to do all of that for you, who understands what good marketing entails. If not, the first thing you want to do is you want to develop, you want to start seeking out some skills for how you want to market your business. And then what I would do is kind of like Helen said, you don't have to reach the promised land. You just have to be a couple steps ahead. When I first started, I didn't try to attract the guru. I tried to attract yesterday's version of Tyson. Yeah. What did Tyson not know yesterday that he knows today that he could share with someone that they would find valuable? And one of the things that I've implemented in my business and that I've taught and I've really built the foundation of my business on is what I call the S3 strategy. I call it study, share, suggest. And so like I found an online affiliate program, for example, that taught marketing, how to build your business online. And I would study some of the things that they taught. I would take one little thing that I learned and I would go out and I would like record a video, or I would do an interview, or I would write up a blog post. And I would just say, hey, here's, if you're struggling with X, Y, and Z, here's a tip that I think might help you. Here's where I learned it. And because I didn't have my own products and I didn't have my own credibility, this is another way you can have credibility. You can hitch your wagon to somebody else who has more credibility than you. And so what I would do is I would go and I would say, hey, listen, I'm not quite where I want to be yet, but I'm definitely more on the path than I was because of this product that I found. And so I would say, if you are frustrated like I was and you want to learn how to do X, Y, and Z, you might want to check it out as well. Here's a link that you can go to download a free whatever, right? And I would give them a link over to the affiliate program that I was a part of. So I was learning in the affiliate program. I was getting tips. I was gathering skills. And then I would go out and share a little something I learned and then refer them back to the affiliate program. And if they bought something, I would earn a commission. And if they didn't, it was okay too, because I was building my brand and attracting people to me. So that's really, honestly, how I built my business for the first 6 to 12 months. Study, share, suggest. I would just study something. I'd share one little thing I learned or 2 or 3 little things I learned. And then I would give a suggestion. Hey, if you liked this and you want to solve this problem, here's what I would suggest you do next. Check out this product. There's a link below this video. Go check it out. I think you'll really enjoy it. That's all I did. Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because that's obviously how you started, and it's exactly how I started my online journey, and in sort of coming across that kind of information and learning and sharing. And for anybody that's listening on live or the replay, if you want to put the number 1 down below, if that's a journey you want to start, I can help you with some of that free training, share that with you so you can get some knowledge with marketing and attraction marketing and starting your journey online. I would like to acknowledge some of the comments online. Hilda said it's very helpful. Anita, comparison is the thief of joy. Rob, yes, you absolutely have to have that connection. Thank you for your comments and feedback. Please send Tyson some likes and some loves for sharing, his wisdom here today. Tyson, I know you're quite a sought after sort of speaker, and you're speaking at an event coming up in June in Las Vegas, which I am traveling to again. So I'll look forward to sort of seeing you then. If any of you are interested in seeing Tyson speak on stage and sharing his wisdom, then and you're anywhere near Las Vegas or can get to Las Vegas in June, then we'll be there, and there's a whole community of network marketers and online marketers that you can network with. So put the number 2 down below if you're interested in any information on that. I'm happy to share that sort of information with you. Just to respecting your time, Tyson, I don't want to hold you up any longer. Have you got any final words of advice or wisdom for the people that are sort of listening? No, other than, just it takes time and it takes persistence and it takes tenacity. And I guess the number one thing I would say, and I think everybody here probably knows this, but just remember that, the path of an entrepreneur is never a straight line. Well, I would love it if we could just go from point A straight to promised land, point B, and wow, that was a great journey. But it never looks like this. It looks like, oh, I went this way. Oh, got to go down here. Oh, that didn't work. I'll go up here. And then, it's like potholes and roadblocks and detours, and that's okay. So I guess my 2 biggest tips I would leave you with is, number 1, just show up and be consistent. And number 2, don't be afraid to fail. Your failures are, number 1, failure is the greatest teacher, and your failures are the fastest stepping stones to success. I have people ask me, Tyson, how did you how did you succeed so quickly? 1,000 people in a year. How'd you do it? I failed faster than everybody else. I tried everything, and like that didn't work, and that didn't work. And it was kind of like with Edison. Was it Edison who created the light bulb? Who said, I haven't failed at building a light bulb when he had failed 1,000 times. He said, I just found 1,000 ways not to build a light bulb. I'm now 1,000 ways closer to figuring out how to create a light bulb. And that's kind of the way I looked at it. Most people, they give up before they have their breakthrough. And so I would just encourage you guys, keep going, follow people who have an inside track to what's working online. People like Helen, find good programs, attend events like the one Helen's talking about out in Vegas, and network with people. Those are the kinds of things that, number one, they're going to keep your morale up. They're going to keep your belief up. I talked about my weight loss journey earlier. When my belief starts to waver, like, can I really do this? First place I go is I go to either an online community of other people who are struggling with the same kinds of things I am, or I go and I watch success stories online, like YouTube videos, and that restores, it renews my belief. All right, I can do this too. And you have to feed your mind that kind of, that kind of fuel and that kind of belief juice, so to speak, to kind of keep you on the right path.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. Couple of things I've learned over time is following people that are further than me, that have got results that I want to get, like people like yourself, Tyson, and you've been a great mentor to me. So thank you very much for your impact on my journey online. And for me, it's consistency. Even when I don't feel like it, I do it. Even when I don't want to go live, I do it. Even when I'm frustrated and struggling, you've just got to push through it. And I think that's part of the entrepreneurial journey. Just fail forward. Just keep failing forward. Failing's not something to be scared of. Success is on the other side of fear. Yeah. So thank you, Tyson. Send some Tysons and likes and loves. If you've got any comments, for Tyson, please drop them below. But appreciate for all of you that have been on live with us, and for those of you that are going to catch the replay, thanks for watching as well. So thanks again, Tyson. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you in June in Vegas.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Bye.